Right now, the black community online is talking about how they're going to boycott Asian businesses and how much they don't like Asians.
We never said we didn't like Asians. We said we didn't like the way they treated us while they're in our neighborhoods making money and flourishing off of the black dollar.
Cordell Gooseby, who, in the end of March, was found not guilty by reason of insanity after he murdered an Asian woman and her unborn child.
Cordell Gooseby was proven guilty by reason of insanity because he was actually insane. You must not know how substantial evidence needs to be in order to be proven guilty by insanity. Long story short, the defense hired an expert that proved that he was insane at the time of the shooting. Prosecution ended up hiring their own expert, and that expert came to the same conclusion, that he was insane at the time of the shooting. Was he wrong? Yes. We're not fighting over lesser evils, but if you want to put the information out there, put it out there.
Stop Asian Hate only got attention because of one white criminal attacking a spa.
That one spa that you were talking about was actually a 3-spa killing spree in Atlanta, March 16, 2021, where 8 people were killed in total, but 6 of them were women of Asian descent. Instead of saying the shooter's name, I'll say the victims. Delana Ashley Yuan, Xiao J. Tan, Dao Yao Fang, Alondre Michaels, Hugh Jung Grant, Suncha Kim, Soon Chung Park, Young IU. Rest in peace.
190,000 cases of black on Asian crime from 2017 to 2021. That is completely ignored.
I did not find that magic 190,000 cases that you were talking about, but let me tell you what I did find. From 1992 to 2014, 75% of anti-Asian hate crimes, the perpetrator was white. During COVID, 90% of anti-Asian hate crimes reported were white perpetrators. 75% of those were physical attacks. 2020, almost 90% of anti-Asian hate news was spread by white perpetrators. Did the black community commit some hate crimes against Asians? Yes. Is it right? No. Nobody's right to impede on or violate somebody else's rights. That should not be allowed. You need to sweep the front porch of your own race and stop worrying about ours. According to the FBI, with reported hate crime cases, guess who's still the #1 most motherfucking hated? You guessed it, us. According to the FBI, guess which race is most reported as the perpetrators against us? Ding, 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 ding. You guessed it.
You can boycott whatever business you'd like, but if you're really burnt up about the Rick Chow case, there's a lot of other shit I can show you.
Can really get into how those anti-Asian hate crimes, how 75% of those perpetrators were white males that look exactly like you. Unless you want to keep it cool, because I got plenty more to show you.
I love seeing black women do what they do best. Shout out to that black woman for debunking that narrative with facts. Instead of addressing what that Chinese man did to that 14-year-old, this white man felt it was necessary to remind the public that black Americans have also committed crime against Asian Americans. A classic deflection tactic designed to pit black Americans and Asian Americans against each other. He's trying to show Asian Americans that black Americans have always been the bad guy. And he was trying to frame the boycott that is happening around America as a hate that is directed toward Asian Americans. But that black woman, she gave him the right answer. So I have put together more other clips that we're going to watch, and we're going to start with this Vietnamese woman asking for forgiveness from the black American community. This video is for educational purpose. If you find it interesting, click on that like button.
To the black community, I'm sorry. As a Vietnamese American, I am disgusted by those in the Asian community who are more upset about a boycott than the life of innocent Cyrus Carmack Belton. I was recently sitting on the George Floyd bench in Martin Luther King Park in Berkeley, the heart of the Vietnam War protests in the 60s, and was reminded of Dr. King's solidarity with the Vietnamese liberation, which ties to my solidarity with black liberation. Growing up in the Midwest, I was taught to trust whites and fear blacks, only to find the opposite is true in my adult life. I have experienced so much kindness and collective care in my interactions with black folks, both in the US and abroad. Whereas the lack of consciousness or care around the violent systems created by and for white folks when trying to speak to white folks about it is astounding and makes me feel incredibly unsafe with most of them. Asian folks watching this, with internalized white supremacy who prefer proximity to white power over collective liberation, know that you are just a pawn being used by white supremacy in this model minority myth to divide and conquer. And if you had a negative one-on-one encounter with a black person, remember that white violence at a systemic level kills millions upon millions and allows for one-on-one interactions with white folks to seem surface level nice because they're not forced into daily survival mode due to the privilege they've carved out with their massive systemic violence. So do not trust white nice because it turns unsafe real quick as soon as you dig beneath the surface to see that most white folks do not care that Western white supremacy culture is killing Black and brown folks daily. So while systemic trauma might have caused a negative one-on-one interaction with a Black person for you, remember that Black people are not killing millions of people on a systemic level. Remember how Black people played a central and pioneering role in the Vietnam War protests and stood in solidarity with oppressed Asian people. Do not abandon our allies. We owe the Black community so much because our rights as non-white people in the US were hard fought for by Black folks. So thank you to the Black community for all that you do. Rest in power, Cyrus Carmichael Belton.
What are your thoughts, Crystal, about this?
First and foremost, let's look at the elephant in the room. You want to be Black. The way
Right.
you're wearing your hat, the way you're speaking,
I'm like, what?
everything you're saying, sweetheart, you learned English from watching these same rap videos that you're talking about. Stop playing with me. Secondly, let's really talk about it. The African-American dollar, hence Target, you saw this. If we pull our money away, the economy will crash. Black dollar is over 1.9 trillion. Asian dollar is less than $1 trillion.
That's right.
They only support their own color.
That's right.
Yet you build beauty supplies, Chinese restaurants, nail salons. As soon as a plaza comes up, what's the first thing that drops in it?
Chinese restaurant.
Especially in a Black area.
Yeah.
Why? Because no one else is going to spend with you. Those same white people in that white neighborhood that you live in, you do that because you want to blend in, but you still need the Black dollar to be relatable. So please, don't speak for all Asians because I know he can't. Not every Asian thinks this way. There's some beautiful Asian people out there, and I know a lot of them. But sir, you want to be Black. You want to be Tu Wong Fu Waka Flocka Jack. Like, stop playing with me, please. Pick a side and move on. Stop.
How to not lose your customers as an Asian American business, or how to get them back. Number 1, don't racially profile them. Don't follow them around the store. If they've left the store, don't accuse them of stealing, and run the length of a football field and a half with a firearm and shoot them. Don't kill your customers. How about that? If you insist on following your customers around the store, make sure you do it to every person of every skin color that comes into your store. If someone that looks like you has done that to one of their customers and it makes national news, perhaps put out a statement about what you will do to combat racial profiling and enhance customer safety. And then follow through. Train all your employees. If your store is set up in a neighborhood where the people don't look like you, perhaps take the time to understand them and their culture and what they are looking for in a neighborhood store. Give them better service than the other stores in the area, which includes being nice. Remember that you are a capitalist, right? And you think that the free market is the best market, which means nobody owes you their money. You have to compete with other businesses for their dollars. You have to offer the best goods and services around at a reasonable price. And your customers should feel comfortable going in there and not being racially profiled and being able to send their kids in there to run errands without worrying whether their kids will die in your store. I do not run a corner store, but I run a small business which involves selling books to people, books that I wrote. And I am able to keep selling books to customers and to get more contracts from publishers because I stand by the messages that are in my books of inclusion and open-mindedness and calling out structural inequality where it exists and no, that is not racism. If a reader from a different ethnic group bought my book, bought my product, and then I did something racist to them, I could expect their entire ethnic group to no longer buy my books. I am not entitled to anybody's money, and since y'all like capitalism and the free market so much, it is time to embrace it. Improve your customer service and maybe your customers will come back.
A lot of people are boycotting Asian businesses, and I kind of think that's a little crazy because it's one man's action affecting the whole Asian community. That's low-key a generalization. Also, a lot of these people are boycotting like nail businesses and some. Those people are Vietnamese, not even Chinese, okay? A lot of those people are lower income. They're not the model minority. They're from a third world country. And I'm saying that because I know someone who is literally kind of being affected by this because their family owns a nail tech business. And I just think it's a little crazy that it's so, I guess, fine to say this normalization and be like, boycott all Asian people because of this one Asian person.
This is not just about the Rick Chow case. That was pretty much just the straw that broke the camel's back. For decades, Black people have been dealing with disrespect from Asian-owned businesses in our communities, while they continue to profit from the Black dollar. Now, Black people deciding they want to support Black-owned businesses, that's not racism, that's just group economics. And other groups have been doing that for centuries. So why is it suddenly considered racist when Black people want to spend more money in Black-owned businesses? At the end of the day, spending money is a choice, and supporting Black-owned businesses is not an attack on anyone else. And I keep hearing, like, how would Black people feel if Asian people boycotted Black businesses? Now, the Asian community has never really supported Black businesses, so you can't really boycott something you've never supported in the first place. Now, if the Black dollar mattered so much to the Asian community, then they should have respected Black people when they had the chance. And this is exactly what we mean when we say fuck around and find out. Y'all just found out. Now, you've spent decades benefiting off of a community while showing such little respect for its people. Don't be shocked now when we decide to take our money somewhere else.
This is for the Asian community that does not support us and are mad that we are boycotting. I need y'all to walk with me for a second. Do you really know that you are showing your disconnect from humanity just by that action? Just for the sole fact that you're more mad that Black people are not going to spend their dollar with you than you are that a 14-year-old was chased more than a football field away from a store over a perceived 89-cent water and shot in the back. And you get on here and you're sitting here talking about how we need to raise our children better. Like there's not Black people in college and lawyers and doctors, not just entertainers. And then you proceed to act as if all of y'all are successful. Like there isn't Asian people in prison. Like there isn't Asian prisons. Like there isn't Asian gangs. Like there isn't Asian crimes. But you sit here and try to act as if we are the poster child of violence. Did anybody of our skin color come to your country and oppress you or colonize you? No, we did not. When you came to America, didn't you find hardship? How do you think your life got better? It damn sure wasn't y'all sticking up for yourselves. It was us who put the work in, that shouted from the rooftops. It's a reason that the oppressor, the white supremacists, hate us the most. We're the most vocal. We take the most action. Civil rights, you're welcome. Voting, you're welcome. All you being able to move in certain neighborhoods without prejudice, you're welcome. You being not discriminated when you try to get employment or go to school or anything you do, you're welcome. Because y'all didn't put in no fucking work. We did. And that's not, and I'm not talking about the ones that did stand with us, the few that stood with us. But it was very few. Let's keep that a buck. Stop acting as if you are better than us. You're not. Your culture is different, but at the same time, you take from us. On the same token, There are some of us that do it, like we do enjoy Asian culture, Japanese, Chinese culture, Korean culture. We love anime, you know, we love your cuisines. But here's the difference. We show love. We'll go, hey, y'all did a bang up job with that. Yo, we love your anime. We love your culture. We love your people. You, K-pop, J-pop, break dancing, rapping, caricatures of us in animes, all of these buffoonery joints that you're doing. I'm trying not to cuss, but you know, all this buffoonery you've done towards us, you'll take from our culture, but won't appreciate the people that created it. Understand your disconnect from humanity. We have no smoke with y'all, but y'all don't stand with us a lot of times, and that's why we had to put a foot down. And now you don't like that the foot went down. Maybe think because you're more concerned about your dollar than the fact that one of your own chased a 14-year-old boy more than a football field away from his store, off of his property, where, long as I checked, even when I used to work retail and stuff like that, they used to say, you are not allowed to chase anybody that steals out of the store because you could become a liability and you will be instantly fired. But he chose, because he thought his life was in danger, to chase a boy more than a football field with his son and shoot him in the back. Think about that.
So the Asian community is very, very upset right now. They're throwing a hippie fist. I mean, they literally are saying that we can do whatever, we're ghetto, we're not going to be able to supply black people. All of these things are being said. All the video that are circulating around, that majority of the Asian community are saying that black people, we don't have the tenacity, we don't have the backbone of boycotting because we need to stop eating Chinese food, stop going to the nail salon. We're not going to be able to do all of that. So they're making threats. But the thing is, I want to say to all the Asian community, we are not saying, black people are not saying that we don't love you guys. We're definitely not saying we don't respect you guys. We are only saying that right now, for far too long, when we were disrespected by many of you guys, what we did, we did not do anything about it. We still come back. We forgave. When you walked around and follow us in the nail store, when you talk to us dirty, when we come to the nail salon and you treat us, you talk about us in your language, we still forgave you. We come back. But this time we are only saying black people need to keep the dollar in the black community, the same way the Asian keep the money in Asian community, because you guys send your money back home. You guys don't shop at black community. I know for a fact because I had a restaurant, same place where a person who is Asian, and we go there and buy their food, but they're never caught dead in my restaurant buying food or trying to support me, even though they know it was me and I support them. So this is all I'm saying. We are not saying that we're not trying to spread hate. We're not trying to spread any hate at all. What we are saying, simply saying that we are going to support each other. Hi guys. Hi friend. We're simply saying, hi mama. We're just simply saying that we are going to support the black community, because for far too long we have been disrespected, been discriminated about, and all this thing going on. We still come back. So now we have to go and support the black community. And yes, for some of you guys, you're gonna be losing money, but majority of you guys are online saying, oh, you guys are gonna boycott, let's see. You guys are like threatening, like we have to buy from you guys. We don't have to buy from you guys. That's the reason why we had Block Wall Street back in the days, because we are powerful. Black people make up a 90% of your business that you get is from black people. We support, we're the shopper, we buy your products. And then when you find out that as we are saying that something dramatic happened and we're going to hold our dollar, instead of you guys saying, what can we do or how can we come together, You guys are out here throwing threat like, oh, let's see you do that and this and that, like as if you're mad that black people want to support other black people. Now, when you carry on like that, your business, some of you guys are going to lose a lot of customers. That's why it's cricket in a lot of places that we go. Be careful what you speak out of your mouth. When time like this is very sensitive for us, because we lost a child behind this racist bull that you guys been pulling. And we are going to support our black people. And no matter what you guys say, that's what we're doing.
First of all, shout out to every person whose clip was featured in this video. Now, why does every person in America feel like they have the right to tell black Americans what to do and what not to do? Why do other communities in America feel like they are smarter than black Americans and therefore they should be telling them what they should be doing? I've never heard a black American telling Asian or white Americans or Latinos where they should be spending their money or what they should or should not be doing. But all of these other communities feel like they are smarter than black Americans, so they should be giving them advice on what they should be doing and what they should not be doing. And that alone tells you something. That is a reflection of how deeply embedded the disrespect for black autonomy is in America. And mind you, they're not doing it out of love for black Americans. They're doing it because they're trying to manipulate black Americans into doing what favors them. They're trying to manipulate black Americans into spending their money buying their product instead of using their money to support their own people, to support black-owned business. Black Americans' spending power is worth trillions of dollars, about 2 trillions of US dollars. Entire businesses of many Asians in America are built around that money. That spending power, that buying power of black Americans. So when black Americans collectively decide to redirect their dollars, the people who benefited from access to their spending don't react with understanding. And the outrage reveals what their so-called concern was always about. So these Asians acting mad on social media and telling black Americans not to boycott them, it is not because they truly value their relationship with black Americans. It's because they value the power of black American dollars. They want access to black American dollars, but they do not want to be united with black Americans. They want to build their wealth using the power of black American money, but they don't want to stay around black Americans. That is why you've seen that even though many of them own businesses in black people's neighborhoods, they don't stay there. They earn their money from black Americans, but they stay with white people. So they really want to make money from black Americans, but they don't want to build deep relationship with black Americans. They don't want to build deep unity with black Americans. And I was watching many videos of these Asians trying to tell people how black Americans are being hateful or are discriminating them by trying to boycott them. But as we've heard from black Americans themselves, the motive of boycotting these Asian American businesses is not because they hate them. They don't really hate them, and I can confirm that. And those people are saying that black Americans are doing it because of what happened with that 14-year-old boy who was unalived by a Chinese American. And I've been seeing that many Asian Americans are saying that black Americans are wrong to punish all Asians because of the action of one Chinese person. But I'm telling you that one action is not what is making black Americans to respond the way they're responding. But that became like an incident. That became like a spark that reminded black Americans that they should be focusing on their own because the people they're supporting don't like them. So don't try to frame it like black Americans are punishing all of y'all Asian Americans because of what Ricky Chow did. No. There are many things that were done by Asian Americans against black Americans that reveals what y'all think about black Americans. So it is not wrong for black American brothers and sisters to make this bold decision of loving themselves. I've watched a bunch of videos of many white Americans trying to speak for Asians, trying to support what Asians are saying. But I'm telling y'all, the reason why these white Americans are trying to stand on the side of these Asians is not because they have deep love for these Asians. They've been using these tactics to stand between Asian Americans and black Americans, trying to show Asians that they're better than black Americans. And what is funny is how many of these Asians believe those lies, and then they end up distancing themselves from black Americans, thinking that they are more closer to whiteness than black Americans. But y'all Asians are wrong. These people see you as people of color. If you were aware of the impact that the model minority myth had on your community, you wouldn't be trying to associate yourself with whiteness. And if you really understood the history, you would know the people who have been standing with y'all, the people who have been fighting for you. You would understand that Black Americans don't hate you. In fact, Black Americans are supposed to be your biggest allies, but y'all have been doing your best to distance yourselves from them. That is why they're also making these decisions. You're the one who started it, and they are not wrong to boycott y'all. I have realized that the kindness of Black Americans is what makes some people in America feel entitled to their support. Black Americans have been historically extended grace and generosity even to communities that have not always reciprocated. That warmth and openness has been mistaken for permission. It has been mistaken for guaranteed loyalty. So when Black Americans finally choose to prioritize themselves, people who were never truly in their corner act shocked and betrayed. But you cannot act betrayed when the only thing that changed is Black Americans starting to value themselves the same way you have always valued yourself. They feel entitled to Black Americans doing what they want them to do. And the moment Black Americans do otherwise, the moment they do what was not expected, these people become frustrated. They get angry. But I'm telling y'all, brothers and sisters, when you see these people angry at what you're doing, that is how you know you are doing the right thing. Because if you were doing wrong thing, many of them would be happy. So whenever they are angry at what you're doing, it means you are doing something right that they don't want you to do. So do not let their frustration become your doubt. Their anger is not a warning, it is a confirmation. So that was it for today. So let me know what y'all think down there in the comment section. If you have enjoyed watching this one, remember that the best way to support us is to click on the like button. And those viewers who have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing for more interesting episodes. Mr. TA, your African brother, sending love and hugs from Africa. See you next time. Ciao.